The Army makes ranges the worst experience known to
planet.
man.
Why?
Yeah,
It's horrible.
All right.
Bro,
What do you mean?
Bro,
What do you mean?
let's history lesson.
All right, let's
yours
go.
Yours is probably worse than mine. I want to hear yours first because so if you don't know this, there is completely different times in the military. If you wartime military and garrison military. I've never done garrison military.
So garrison military. So let's say you wanted to set up a range, right?
I do.
You only have one type of weapon that can be fired on each range because there's different ranges for every type of weapon. So let's say you're going to go shoot M4s. Okay. So before you go out there, you have to build a CONOP or a concept of operations. This is several weeks in advance.
This is some BS already. I'm out.
Concept of operations.
You know what? Ban guns.
Where you
Too
assign,
much work.
Where you assign a range safety officer, an NCOIC, and an OIC, which are all different people who are in charge of this range. You then also have to correlate to get medics on standby to be at the range. That one actually, I'm behind. Okay, you should have a medic because soldiers are fucking stupid. Then you have to go to range control, get certified to have that range. Then you got to go over to S3 to land an ammo. They have to reserve the range for you. Then the day of, after you've ironed out all those, you have to have a deliberate risk assessment worksheet. You have to have a whiteboard showing where everything is, including the latrines. Then you draw the ammo, and let's say you draw 10,000 rounds. They weigh the ammo and weigh the brass when you go to turn back in to make sure you're turning in all of your brass.
Stealing it.
Which is a fucking nightmare. Let me see.
I didn't know
I got a story about that.
Oh, the turning in the brass?
Was that
They
new?
weigh.
Oh, yeah, they
Bro.
weigh. It's by weight.
That's why we got a lot of free ammo.
I got
You're the problem.
Yeah, you're it.
at annual training one year for like National Guard shit. We got stuck there for an extra 2 days because apparently somebody in our battalion, they were like, we're missing 4,000 rounds of ammunition. You guys didn't turn in the brass for it. They made an entire fucking battalion form up with all of their gear and dump all of our bags and possessions and went through everybody's shit looking for 4,000 rounds of it. Like, you think somebody's just got like a green duffel full of fucking bullets? What? And like, oh, our bad. You guys can go home. We miscounted.
And when they say this is you are standing at parade rest
It's
with
awful.
your gear laid out for
In July.
12 hours
Or
outside.
Or what's worse is like when it's raining and you're digging through mud to grab brass and throw it in a box, like at the end of the fucking range. It's a miserable experience. And then once you're there, you have to call up to range control and you no longer say hot or cold. You say wet or dry. That's the new thing. We are range wet at this time.
Why would they switch that?
I have no fucking idea. They
That
just
is
did.
as military as it gets. It's like, you know, this thing we've been doing since the dawn of time that everyone used. We're going to fucking change it now. It's going to be wet and dry.
It's the dumbest shit.
Didn't they change the name of the jumper cables for Humvees
Oh,
recently?
yes, they're
Are
no
they
longer
freedom cables now, from what I hear?
No idea what they're called. I know what they used to be called. You can go ahead and say it. I'm not going to say it.
You're
Oh,
looking
fuck it, I don't
like
care.
Some BS.
Humvees have a very special jumper cable because the government contracting is fucking stupid. But you can't just do normal jumper cables. They're special jumper cables, and it's called a slave cable because the term slave is a mechanical fucking term that engineers use where you slave one thing to another. It's a legitimate mechanical term, but somebody got offended by it. So now we're not allowed to call the slave cables, which meets the mechanical definition of slaving. We have to call them freedom cables now, is what they're called.
I like they were like, what's the opposite of slave? Freedom. That's their name now.
That's real stupid.
It's dude, it's insane.
Yeah. And then let me see. Is there anything else I'm missing? Once they weigh the ammo,
You have to shoot when okay, everyone line
Yeah,
up. Each
everyone line
person
up.
has
Yeah.
one range. You have to go off the cadence of when they say shoot.
yeah. The next fires line up. Go ahead and get in a prone supported position. Grab your 30 round magazine. Lock and load. Scan your lane. Yeah, you got it. That's a fucking script. Yeah, and then target pop up, which it's fucking translucent because there's so many fucking holes in it. You shoot it 3 times and it just doesn't go down because we pay these civilians who work at range control, who are prior infantry because they can't get any other fucking jobs. They sell cars, they work at range control. I'm sorry, you're not fucking important, or you're at CIF, you fucking chuckle fucks. Anyways, and then we pay them, what, $120,000 a year to not go change our fucking silhouettes on the range? Yeah, I love going to the range. I hate going to the range in the Army.
Fuck you, I love it.
In the Army?
In the Army?
Oh yeah, if you're semi squared away and you're a medic and you're going with a bunch of garrison troops that only shoot once a year, it's the funniest shit on the planet.
it's hilarious.
Because those ex-infantry grunts are just from the tower with a microphone fucking roasting people.
Oh, yeah.
Lane
60.
23. I know your mom's your sister, but try not to fucking shoot till I say so. It's hilarious.
And then they blame the weapon. They blame everything else of why they're missing their targets. Now compare that to my experience. We did not know about that. We'd always police breasts. That was always the thing after range day. Now I had first sergeant was my first sergeant, and homeboy went G-Van. Edit that name out. He went Delta or CAG right during us. So he made first sergeant like 8 or 9 years. He was
Jesus.
Yeah. So
Jesus, I don't know what that means.
that's a high.
Whoa.
Usually it's like 18.
I've been in 15 years, and it's a higher rank than me. So
Homeboy is fast track, but he is second combat diver, sniper, master jumper.
Wasn't an air defender though. Fucking Pogue.
Homeboy is a fucking monster, but he was our first armor. Instead of called, there was A-Co, B-Co, C-Co. We were B-Co. Instead of calling B-Co, everyone just called. That was what we were called because first sergeant. So they were just called. When first sergeants would come up, they're like, "Hey, where are you?" I was like, "B-Co." Oh, you mind, you squared away. They'd leave us the fuck alone. And then when we would go to the range, we got to train with soft caps. We had to put our vests on, but soft cap training, and it was just fucking
Like just the flick, no body armor.
yeah.
When we went,
Oh yeah, first sergeant. Like he was like, "You're trained."
That's some old school G-Watt shit.
So we would just walk up, and then it would be like, "Okay, ready, up," and we'd just go off his cadence. So we'd be like walking, shooting, like, blah, blah, blah. All we would train with, and then we didn't know about that pistol training. Same long range training, or we would do our F packs, which is we would run 1 mile with gas mask on, do an obstacle course, then run to the shooting range.
Stress shoot.
G-Watt shit.
Shit, that sounds terrible.
And then shoot, then run all the way back. That was the entire training, but it was fun. We got to do explosives demo. We didn't know we were doing advanced CQC, advanced breaching. We just thought that was normal until we had to train with the other companies. And then it was like, first sergeant got on the bus. He was like, "Hey, we have to do advanced CQC and training." Huh? We're like, "Roger, first sergeant." It's like, "We've done this shit. They haven't. This is just normal for us. So just pretend it's new."
Back in the day, so when I went through my designated marksman course, they were like, it was all a bunch of like President's 100 members, which I'm a decent shot. I'm a pretty decent shot. Those guys make me look like fucking garbage. They are phenomenal shots. And they came out and they're like, "All right, big boy rules." And they're all like special forces and shit. They got fucking tab ladders. So we got to take our gear off, and we got to just like in tan t-shirt, we would lay down our tops and soft cap. And that's how we would shoot. It was the only time in my military career I ever got to do that. But you're talking about the stress shoot, and it just reminded me of something. So I was in Korea doing a stress shoot. It was a 300
North Korea.
Yeah. We were fucking close enough. It was an uphill range up at the demilitarized zone. So it's 300 meters uphill. And what these guys had to do is they would sprint up this like pretty much sheer straight hill. It was like 50 meters. And there was 4 silhouettes at the top. They'd draw their M9, and they would 2 shots per target, and they would drop those. Then they would holster, bring out their M4. They had to clear a bunker. And then once they cleared the bunker, inside there was a 150-pound dead body. This is for the best warrior competition. So it was like
That's
hardcore
the
shit.
biggest communist.
Yeah. And they had,
In case you run into the biggest North Korean soldier.
Communist right there.
so it was a wounded soldier, so they had to carry him out of there. And then every time the targets would pop up, they would have to take cover with their casualty, return fire, and then they would carry him all the way to the end, So like all day I was just running up and down this range, and it was raining. It was fucking miserable. But there was this Katusha. And the reason why this story sticks out to me, have you ever watched like We Were Soldiers or any of those like Vietnam or World War II movies, like Asian Pacific Theater? And like an Asian guy dies and they all kind of make, at least in Hollywood, they make the same sounds. And we know what sound I'm talking about because I'm going to emulate it here in a second. But I was watching this Katusha. He went up, he was beasting it. He went to go grab this 160-pound dead body and like put it on his back. And all I hear is, like that. It was the fucking, I almost pissed my goddamn pants.
Japanese sound, anime sound.
I was just watching it. Oh my God, it was great. But yeah, you were talking about the stress shoot, and I just remembered that.
Dude, yeah, stress shooting was something. Well, just fucking training in general. And then when we went to Iraq, it was also just, they would just dump off AT-4s, guns, bullets. And then I found out like later, they're like, "Oh yeah, after you get in a firefight, you have to track it, like how much ammo is used." I was like, What?
Oops.
If you tried to make normal troops run with gas masks before shooting now, it would be on CNN for cruel and unusual punishment. Do you remember like a year ago when the SEALs got busted because they were using CS gas outside and one guy passed out and they tried to make a big deal about it like they were torturing Navy SEAL recruits?
Well, he died.
No,
Did
he
he
didn't.
die?
No, he didn't.
Oh, he just
No, he
passed
didn't.
out.
They were outside in the fucking open, and they had CS tablets burning on a stick, and they were like holding push-up position, and they were like, the smoke is really thick because they're fucking outside. Like, it's going away immediately. And one dude tried to hold his fucking breath, which you don't do.
No.
They tell you that. And he's like in push-up position, holding his breath, so he passes out. And then CNN gets on acting like they're fucking torturing Navy SEALs.
Hell, I got CS gassed in basic training. Did you?
Everybody did.
Well, no, not like the chamber, like out when you're doing lectural training. They like threw.
Oh, no, I never got that.
That was at Fort Knox. You go. You
Oh
went to
yeah,
Benning.
we did because during the binning,
Yeah,
we all had to do binning. It was during the last thing for AIT for the infantry thing, and we were one of the first units that was doing the fob training to get used to a fob, and they did a simulated gas attack.
That was after Nick at night, wasn't it? The night infiltration course where you're crawling underneath the tracers.
and
That
then
was
they're
a fun
shooting
course.
fucking
You have to do that too,
240s.
right?
CS gas myself inside a vehicle once.
Did you?
Hell yeah.
For a video.
Dude, you know what's a good video? You and Brandon, we get them to go through like a CS gas chamber. Hey, fucking the
Dude, I'll
low
go
crawl
through again.
over the 240
Let's go.
Bravo live fire.
Let's
I'll
do
do
it.
it with it.
I'd
I
love to
have
go
a
through it,
basic
dude.
training post. I might be able to. I'll reach out. Let me see what I can get.
We
would do
all
it.
do this for
CS gas, CS gas
the
sucks,
worst.
but like it's the best thing for your sinuses on
It
the
really
planet.
is.
Yeah, let's
Just-
get our noses all, drain everything out of them.
Because I did that video with Angry Cops where I told my funny gas mask story, and in the comment section, I've told this story. I put the video up. It was a long time ago.
Okay.
Have you heard this story?
I don't know if I
Okay,
have.
fuck, I'll tell it. Okay, so
Matt, have you heard this story?
I don't ever watch any of his stuff.
yeah, fuck you.
That makes two of us.
Just makes money off the shirt sales. Yeah, we know.
I'm just using you. Yeah.
So we're at basic
called
training,
business.
and we all have to go through the gas chamber, and we're sitting outside on like the metal high school fucking football bleachers, waiting to go into this little brick building with no fucking windows and get CS gassed. And the biggest, meanest drill sergeant we had, he had the baby blue ring, which means he was infantry, like.
Those are
Bad
emotional
dude.
support drill sergeants.
And he was like, this was 2012, and he was very open about the fact that he was given the option 8 years ago of go to war or go to prison, and he chose go to war. And he told everybody, my plan is to get 20 years in the army and then go be a mailman so I get double pension. And like, he was super cool or super fucking scary. There was no in between. So he comes running the fuck out, just screaming, everybody shut the fuck up, close your eyes, put your hands over your face and touch your elbows to your knees. So you're just sitting there like this, dead fucking quiet. You just hear the wind and crickets. And he's like, okay, this is serious. Raise your hand if there is it, because I was actually one of the first iterations to go through co-ed. So he's like, if there's a chance that you could be pregnant or you are pregnant, raise your hand and we will pull you aside quietly, and you can do this on a different time or we will address it, because if you go into CS gas, you're going to get very unpregnant very quick, and I don't want to have to take you to the ER.
You raised your hand.
Nobody, good. If you've had happy time with yourself in the last 72 hours, you've created micro tears on your happy place. And if you get CS gas in it, you will also end up in the ER. And I don't want to have to fucking take you. Raise your hand quietly and you will do this on another day.
Everybody.
All I can hear is breathing and my own fucking heart beating as I'm sitting there like, and it felt like 7 years. It was probably like 5 seconds. And he just goes, everybody look. And there's like 5 dudes with their hands in the air. And then we know who's been jerking off in the barracks.
I'm surprised only 5 people with their hands up.
I've not asked that question. I just like used to fuck with people.
Yeah, I was like, there's no way that's true.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I forget where the fuck I was even going with that.
And then you got CS gas.
Oh, yeah. So I uploaded that video because I think I told it with Angry Cops here. And there's so many comments on that video of people that were like, I had chronic bronchitis my entire childhood until I went through basic training, got CS gassed, and I've never had it since. Like, there's people that are like, I had chronic illnesses that got treated by just cauterizing my fucking lungs by chemically burning them.
So Matt, have you ever have you seen the chambers or how they do
Just
it?
on video, yeah.
Bro, it is.
It's awesome.
And they fuck with you. They're like, make sure you drink lots of milk. It'll help line everything. They're lies.
That's a lie.
Make sure you shave, freshly shaved, so it seals better.
Extra
Fucking
hard
lie.
shaved.
That's what I didn't know about it is that it burns the shit out of your skin.
Yeah.
Oh, they lie
I
about
had no
everything.
idea. I did it in shorts and my knees were just burning because it sat all over my knees.
I was like,
fuck,
why
dude.
were your knees raw?
I was sitting in a vehicle and it was like hitting the ceiling and coming around and just landing on my knees. I had a gas mask on for the first half of it, then we took it off. But like, I was like, why are my knees burning? And my scalp was burning. And I was like, oh, this hurts the skin. No.
Oh, dude, because you get in there and you like walk in, and they're just standing there, and you're like, okay, everyone against the wall, and you're like, oh, this is really hazy. Oh, fuck, this is gonna suck dick. And like break, and they clear. Okay, I didn't fuck that up. That's good. That's good. And you're looking around. You can tell when people fucked up.
Some
the
people
seal.
are dying.
Yeah, you're like over it, like they're trying to seal it better. Then you have everyone line up, and you're like, okay, this is the part that fucking sucks. And like, okay, next row, recite your last four and take your mask off, recite your last four, and stand there. And you're like, bah! And then they go down the line of 5, and you have to recite that and your name and everything. And you're like, my head, I was like, just don't breathe that much, and then you'll be fine. And then I went like this, that small air,
that little
magma. And you're like, and I'm just sitting there, I'm like, fuck ice. Everyone's just like trying to get the fuck out. They're like, okay, you go. You walk out and you're like, oh, just fucking everything's cleared out.
Oh, it's awesome.
Good to go.
Did you get the burps afterwards? Like, because every time I tried to inhale, my throat would close because like it was involuntary, and I started sucking into my stomach. So like 5 minutes later, I would burp and CS would come out, and it was just not a good experience.
No, I didn't have
No, I didn't have that.
Oh, it was rough. It was
And
rough.
then different Asian race. So Filipinos, it doesn't affect as much for some reason. And then some people are just more immune to it. My buddy Smith, fucking.
Really big smokers, for some reason, seem to be like pretty not as badly affected by it from what I saw.
Dude, Smith walked out, and the drill sergeant's like, you didn't breathe. Go back in there. And Smith's like, okay.
Okay.
Like, dude, he could just stand there
Yeah,
like
some
this.
people, it just like, it just doesn't affect.
Interesting.
It's like air to them. Like
Yeah.
nothing. Me, it fucking felt like
Dying.
someone was pouring lava down my throat. It is one of the worst fucking experiences I have ever felt.
It would have been funny to be that one guy that was unfazed though, because we had one of those too, and it's just like I just remember dying and looking at him, and he's like, in his mind, he's like, "Oh fuck, am I a superhero? Oh shit,
I'm invincible.
Yeah, dude. You're just looking around, everyone's dying, and you're like, huh.
I don't."
It's like, yeah, it kind of tickles the back of my throat. I get it. Yeah, it's tickling.
He's
Not
like,
that bad, though.
it just smelled like I like sniffed a pepper shaker. Like, I don't-
Yeah, spicy jalapeno or
I
something.
gotta sneeze.
yeah.